What's popping? All right, so today, I'm saying you tuned in right now to Abode of Sun Moon. My name is Brother Bridge. So today we're gonna be talking about symbols. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna simplify symbols, you know what I'm saying? See, this is an occult world that we live in. So everything is pretty much being communicated in symbols. Occult just means hidden for those of you guys that don't know. It means hidden, not known. So, as we mentioned yesterday, one of the so yesterday I said that the subconscious mind, which is actually the mechanism that creates your reality, what would actually create the magic, get you the results of quote unquote magic. Okay. Um, so through repetition, trauma, and symbols. Okay, so symbols are pretty much the most effective, insidious way, like without you even really knowing what's going on. That's the easiest way to access your subconscious mind. So pretty much, whether you like it or not, corporations, the media, a bunch of people are accessing your subconscious mind without your consent through symbols. Some of those symbols may be the Nissan symbol, the VH1Q symbol, the symbol on Starbucks, even the symbol behind me, the sun, the moon, stars, Saturn. The middle finger is a symbol. We're gonna get into all the definition, what all these symbols mean in a little while. It's gonna all make sense real soon. The cross is a symbol. But these things speak to your subconscious mind, your quantum powerhouse. Lately in the news, you've been seeing, if you've been paying attention to science news, or it's been all over the place in movies, on YouTube, Facebook, D-Wave computers. Pretty much all the D-Wave computer is, it's an artificial subconscious mind. Yeah, because you see, some people don't have let's just say it, what black people have. Not everybody has melanin, and not everybody is able to activate their pineal gland. There are individuals on this planet that have calcified pineal glands. The pineal glands don't work. The pineal gland is actually your soul. It's your third eye. It receives downloads from the upper spheres of consciousness, and it also projects. It creates for you as well. So, these individuals, they created this machine so that they have a subconscious mind and pineal gland. We are superior technology. Computers are built to mimic what our bodies do. The technology of today was created to replace your original technology. If I was to tell you today that you could communicate the same way you could communicate with a video chat, the same way we're doing right now, that we could do this with our minds without any of this technology, you would probably say I was a weirdo. However, about 100 years ago, if I was to tell you that we would be communicating from a little square box, you would be able to see me, hear me, and I can do my banking, I can buy things, I can purchase things on this little gray box, I can do all these magical things. You would consider me to be a weirdo. Tesla was actually locked up in a crazy house, in a mental institution, because he was trying to convince people that they can communicate through what he called ether. Yeah. So, it's all about just opening your mind. Stop thinking with this illusionary mind, this mind that isn't even yours, this mind that was thrust upon you, that was trained. The way of thinking, your way of thinking, is it yours or was it forced upon you? Okay? Because the pineal is your third eye. It's one, and it sees beyond the physical spectrum of light. But these two eyes see within the physical spectrum of light, but they divide everything. That's why it's two eyes. The physical spectrum of light deals with, it's limited, first of all. There's only 7 colors within that spectrum, and they're represented by your chakras. Your pineal gland being the 6th chakra, and it's blue. Those of you who remember in school, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And that's how you remember the colors in the spectrum, also the colors in your chakra. But okay. So these two eyes here deal with the visible spectrum of light, which deals with separation, the illusion of separation. That is the realm of duality. However, once you actually access your heart chakra, the color is green, and it's your 4th chakra. It's actually the gateway to your upper chakras. Once you access your heart chakra, that's the point when you should start realizing that the illusion of separation is an illusion, because you see yourself in everything that exists. You stop identifying as an individual and start identifying with the one. You see that sun right there in the middle of everything? It looks like a Vesica Pisces too, in the middle of everything. And if you turn it sideways, it would actually look like Saturn, but it's the sun. Okay, that's symbolic to the one true source that everything emanates from, everything in the cosmos. Notice it looks like a vagina. Everything in this cosmos that brings you into this universe. So it's like, the vagina, that's symbolic of the vagina. It brings you into this universe. You're brought into this universe through a vagina. Also, the sun up there is said to give light, give life, give information. That's the thing about symbols. A picture's worth 1,000 words. So there is no right or wrong. Stop dealing with the concepts of right and wrong. Think with your universal mind, because for something to be true, it has to be true universally. It has to be true no matter where you apply it. Okay? These symbols that we're going to talk about today, they're represented, they're universal. They're represented in the cosmos. They're represented spiritually. They're represented physically, anatomically. They're they're symbolic and represented of physical components of your mind, and then physical components of your genitalia in the same at the same time. You see, it's universal. It goes as above, so below. So in the heavens, you'll see it taking place in you. You see it taking place in your anatomy. You'll see it taking place in spirituality and metaphysical concepts. That's how you know something is true. Is true. If it doesn't hold up universally, then it's not right and exact. It's not true. Um. Okay, so let's get into this. Symbols and how to access the quantum D-wave computer that is your subconscious mind. Um. So a lot of the symbols that we see are either of sun worship everywhere, whether you know it or not. There's a lot of priesthoods, a lot, a lot. But at the end of the day, a large majority of them, you have your sun cults, your moon cults, your fire cults, your water cults. You know, the sun cults, they worship the sun. Amen Ra, the hidden sun. Uh, you have your moon cults, they worship the moon. Ishtar, Minerva, the feminine aspect. Um, you have your fire gods, the Draconians, Draco, Dracon, those that the Kundalini fire, represented by the serpent, the flying serpent, Draco. Then you have your water gods, represented, by the Dogon tribe, so forth and so on. So we're gonna focus on sun worship today, because a lot of a majority of the cults today in this matrix that was created deals a lot with sun worship. Okay, so pretty much. Okay, so let's look at some of these sun worship. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all for a minute. We're gonna look at some of these sun worship symbols. All right, let's check this out. Hope y'all can see this right. Okay, so here we go. Sun worship, Saturn. We got Saturn right here. Uh, Sun worship symbol. The middle finger is also a symbol of Saturn. Saturn some more here. Saturn. Black cube, representative of Saturn. Okay. As you can see, this is a picture of the pineal gland, looking like Saturn. That's why Saturn has those rings. That's why Saturn has those rings. Because when the pineal gland is activated, you will see that it has this ring about it. All right, so let's look at another picture of a pineal gland. Okay, you see how when it's ignited, it looks like a ring. Okay, so go right there. We got some more symbols. All of these symbols that are used by the corporations. You see, symbol looks like the sun. A lot of them, this right here, the triangle. A lot of sun worshiping. Oh shit, I ain't even share it. Pardon me, y'all. All right, here we go. Okay, so hold on. Let's go here. We're gonna take a look at some of these. All right, so the pineal gland, as I mentioned before, the pineal gland. You see the ring, looking like Saturn right there. Okay. Uh, see these logos here. A lot of sun worship. It's the triangle right here, the pyramid. Sun worship. Nike symbol, the Saturn swoosh, Nissan, uh, the Last Supper, also known as Nissan or the Spring Equinox, which is 321. So Nissan, with their Saturn symbol on the car, is also representative of Saturn. And as you can see, the 12 disciples, those are all constellations, representative of constellations and stuff. So symbols are everywhere, as you can see. So we have Saturn here. Right here's a picture of Saturn. Also, we're gonna get into how the black cube, the black cube is representative of Saturn and exactly why. Okay, so let's go over here. Yo, bear with me, y'all. I know I'm jumping. I got your screens jumping all over the place. Okay, so we see there, that's the black cube representative of Saturn. And this is why that would be. The black cube is representative of the North Pole of Saturn, which the North Pole of Saturn, it's swirling. Okay, it's a vortex, an energy vortex. It's swirling, it's moving. It's that's a whole nother video right there. But as you can see, they recreated the North Pole of Saturn here in Mecca. Okay, now Saturn is symbolic of the first sun. Okay, now that being said, Saturn is symbolic of the first sun because they say in the morning when you wake up, it's sunrise. As you look on the horizon, you're actually gonna see a gleam of Saturn. You're gonna see a glimmer of the first light of the morning you see is actually Saturn. And then you see the sun of this earth. As it goes out. So Saturn is actually symbolic of your pineal gland. What's inside of you. Everything in the cosmos, everything up above is actually symbolic of what's taking place inside of you. That's right. That everything in the cosmos, everything in space is called the holographic universe. You see, the 5-pointed star, for example, the 5-pointed star is symbolic of Venus because Venus traces the 5-pointed star in the sky throughout the year. So we just said that everything in the cosmos is symbolic of what's inside of you. So these constellations and these celestial movements are symbolic of changes that are taking place within your DNA. Okay. Pretty much. Now, so we just got down to the nitty-gritty of it all, and we mentioned that the Saturn worship is really sun worship. Saturn is symbolic of the sun. It's actually called the first sun. But we also know that the sun that's shining out there, that's giving us downloads of light, is the holographic sun. It's all good. but you have your very own internal sun, which is that pineal gland. See, you could go inside yourself and you don't need that holographic download from that holographic light. However, you know what I'm saying, you get those downloads, your pineal gland to do its thing, you know what I'm saying, you in tune. But you also have your very own inner sun. And that is what they are paying homage to when they're shouting out Saturn. You know what I'm saying? Your pineal gland. Because that is your soul. That's the silent observer that records your numerous lifetimes through emotions, or those of us that issue forth from the house of emotion, but that's another video. Okay. So we already touched on, for something to be true, it must be universal. Magic is using your universal mind instead of your monkey mind, the mind that was given to you. Using your universal mind, that third eye. Stop seeing the illusion and see past it. See how everything is universal. How it's all the same thing. How one cannot exist without the other. For me to be talking about this, I had to, at some point, be the opposite. For me to be the realest person I know, at some point, I had to be the fakest person I know. Never mind, man. Just, hey, yo, pay me no mind. Listen, good can't exist without evil. How would you compare evil? What would you measure it against? See what I'm saying? So seeing that, hey, one of my favorite scenes was at the end of the Age of Ultron, where Ultron and I think the guy's name is Vision, the other guy, Jarvis, but I think he turned into a superhero named Vision with he had the the third eye, the pineal gland. So Vision and Ultron having a talk at the end of the movie, like, all humans, they don't get it, they're dumb, they don't understand the good can't exist without evil. And Jarvis was like, they'll get it one day. Some deep shit. Need to check that out. Okay, so let me go ahead and show y'all what I was talking about with Venus. With Venus painting the sky in the pentagram. Okay, so here we have Venus tracing her way around the sky, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So every 5 years, let's count. 1, 2, 18, 2019. 2019 is missing, but it seems that every 5 years, Venus makes this circuit in the sky. Looks like a flower of life as well, but it's 5-pointed. So when you're dealing with magic, what you're really dealing with is knowledge. You're dealing with knowledge of celestial bodies. You're dealing with knowledge of yourself. You're dealing with knowledge of your chakras. You're dealing with knowledge. And a lot of people, they tend to stay in their own box, in their own lane. Okay? But all of these things are all syncretic. That's syncretism. They all sync up. They all line up. The truth will always be universal. Magic is a science. Your science. that can't be explained today by the European mind. So it's called magic. The Bible is a book of astrology. I just showed you the Last Supper and how. Let's take a look at that again. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's take a look at this. The Last Supper. Okay. Here goes Jesus sitting in the middle. Jesus and the 12 disciples. Jesus and the 12 zodiacs. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. These zodiacs are grouped together. They're winter. These zodiacs are grouped together. They're fall. These zodiacs are summer. These three grouped together. They're grouped in threes. Everything is universal. So when you're seeing the story of Jesus and he dies for 3 days and is resurrected, you're seeing the story of the sun on December 25th entering the underworld, going below the Tropic of Cancer for 3 days before it starts to rise back up and signal the beginning of spring. These are tactics that were these are things that were cooked up by the church to stop you from accessing your inner sun. Some people might look to the sky to see what's going on inside themselves. Some might meditate. Some might do rituals. Some might just access their subconscious minds through other means. But that's what magic is. That's what these symbols do. You know, sigil magic. You focus on your sigil. Focus on your sigil and you go inside, man. You unlock something inside with your sigils, you know what I'm saying? But okay, so symbols. We just talked about how the pentagram is really Venus's shape, her path throughout the sky, throughout the celestial waters. All of these geometric symbols and shapes have to do with the celestial waters, with the heavens. As above, so below. That's the main thing. That's another way of saying that if something is not universal, then it ain't exact. I'm saying, see, in the ancient world, all these sciences, this was all common knowledge. There was nobody trying to keep this from you, but today it is. So everything is separated. It's the illusion of separation, but you can see through it. You can see through it when you're centered, when you realize that everything is really coming from the one. I'm saying the one emanation, the one source, whichever that may be for you. I'm saying everything in existence is interdependent. Something needs something else to exist. You take something out the picture, the whole picture changes. That's universal law. So, you know, when you're talking about these principles, it's the same thing. Now, so whether it's a 6-point star, 5-pointed star, okay, and also, okay, so symbols, we're talking about the pentagram. Now, shout out to Brother Panic, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this information, you know what I'm saying, he enlightened me to. Brother Bobby Emmett as well. A lot of this occult information, if it wasn't for them, I'd still be praising Jesus. Jesus. So, okay. The 5-pointed star. When the 5-pointer star is pointing up, that's when you're actually giving energy. You're giving off energy. You're giving to Yaldabaoth, the demiurge. You're giving it to something else. But when you turn that star upside down, you're bringing those energies down to you. You're taking. Gimme. You're creating. You become the demiurge. So that's what the left-hand path is. I'm saying you're taking that energy and you're creating. You're taking the left-hand path, you're going to take, but you're going to give, you're going to create. I'm saying ain't no black magic, white magic. There's no separation. Same thing. Masculine and feminine. Whether we're talking about metaphysics, physics, biology, masculine and feminine, those principles, those two principles always, no matter, it's universal. And the same thing applies to that magic, man. Same thing applies. So yeah, when you're dealing with the 5-point star, pretty much that's what that is. What you're dealing with. Upside down, you know, with the pentagram, Baphomet's head, is because you're bringing energy down from the cosmos, from the celestial waters, from the holographic universe that's really just representing everything that's going on inside of you. Anyway, you see, you can look up at the cosmos and know what will be taking place inside of you, what changes will be taking place. If you know, that's a whole nother science, whole nother study right there. That's advanced. You know, okay, another symbol that you'll notice is Baphomet, horns. Well, not even Baphomet, but horns. Horns on Baphomet, horns on Het Heru. Okay, let's go ahead and share this screen right here. Bear with me, y'all. All right. Okay, so we got horns. We got horns on Baphomet right here. See the horns. Bobby Hemmett said that horns represent wisdom and superior intellect, superiority. Okay. You see Baphomet's horns. We see Het Heru. Het Heru's horns right here with the sun disk in the middle. Okay. We see Het Heru again. Okay. She's the nurturer, the mother, giver of life. So she's represented by the cow with the sun disk and the horns. Okay, so the horns represent life, nurturing, the mother aspect, feminine aspect, life giver aspect, wisdom. Okay. Now, let's see where all this horn. Okay, we're not done yet. So we got Amen's horns, Egyptian ram god of fertility. Okay, the horns, there we go. The horns again, fertility. Symbols, y'all. All right, here we go. Alexander the Great, see the horns. Okay. The devil has horns. Everybody got horns. Okay, and some more horns right here. Horns. Everybody got horns. Hit the horns. All right. So now when we talking about horns, we're talking about the hippocampus. As above, so below. Okay? Talking about fertility, we talking about creating. This is a whole nother aspect of your creative faculties, man. Whole nother aspect. Got your pineal, hippocampus, pituitary. You know what I'm saying? These are all represented by chakras. These are all represented by symbols. These are all represented by symbols in the sky. These are all represented by symbols like the labyrinth. These are all represented by symbols. The hippocampus, the horns. These are how you create. This is magic. The horns, the hippocampus. This is magic brought to you on the physical anatomical level. Okay. This is a hippocampus right here and how it favors a seahorse. It looks just like the seahorse. The hippocampus. Very important to your magic. This is how we create. These glands. One thing too, man. Another thing, man. These glands all gunked up with mucus, man, full of mucus. Your endocrine system, all these glands, man, full of mucus. They're not supposed to be full of mucus, but the things that we eat, you know what I'm saying, it's a vicious game, man. You know what I'm saying, these people teach you to eat other than your natural self, and it's shutting down your glands, which are your God powers, your glands. But you don't hear me though. Nah, real talk though, because I'm not even on that. You know what I'm saying, yo, don't eat this, don't eat that, whatever, and all that. It's not so much what you eat, but it's how you clean out. We could talk about that on a later date. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to fry up some lemon pepper wings as soon as I'm done talking to y'all niggas. Shit. Fuck y'all niggas talking about. All right, so magic, understanding the cosmos, understanding the chakras, all the true sciences are syncretic. Magic is science. It's your science. We are the grand technology. They're creating these D-Wave computers to do what we could do because they can't do it. That's why they putting you in these, that's why they showing you these movies, making you believe certain things about yourself. They keep showing you yourself in a certain light in these movies so that you only believe, even if you don't, but the masses believe a certain way. And that creates a reality. That creates a reality for everyone. The man that can't create reality is using you to create his reality. Like the damn Matrix. Figure that one out. Take your mind back, man. And this is how we doing it. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that yesterday. Meditation. First and foremost, take your mind back. You know what I'm saying? Just sit and try not to think of anything and see how hard it is to have control of your own mind. Yeah, that's real weightlifting. So the hippocampus, or anytime you see horns anywhere, they're talking about the hippocampus. They're talking about, okay, so Baphomet, horns. Baphomet was a symbol that was created by the Knights Templar in homage to the Moors. To the Moors that taught them everything that they know, taught them how to sail, taught them algebra, math, taught them how to build, taught them everything they know. Brought them boys out the caves. You know what I'm saying? Dusted them off, washed them up. You know what I'm saying? Put clothes on them and everything. Taught them how to wash, man. Taught their women how to bathe and shit. Crazy. Baphomet is symbolic to the perfected black man, to the perfected man. The Moor, the black man. So when you see these horns, they take it back to Baphomet. But who were the Moors? According to Bobby Hemmett, you know what I'm saying? Bobby Hemmett told us that the Moors were Kemetic priests. In Kemet, the horns stand for fertility, the life-giving principle, the cow, the milk. Even Amun, the ram, Amun's horns. He's a ram god, but those horns still represent fertility. Hmm. But those horns, you take it even deeper. Those horns represent your hippocampus, one of your creative faculties. One of your creative faculties. How you create, nigga. That's right. That's right. You see, the symbols are worth 1,000 words. How do you keep yourself in this magical mind state? Saying you surround yourself with symbols, man. Saying you surround yourself with symbols everywhere you go to remind you of this magical mind state. But these crackers do it for you. Everywhere you go, they got their symbols up. You know what I'm saying? But when you know what that means, you take control of that magic. You take that energy and use it how you see fit. They got these symbols up speaking to your subconscious mind. But every time now, when you see these symbols and recognize them, they only empower you. Them symbols ain't driving you to create someone else's reality because you believe them to be superior, because you believe them to be whatever, or you believe yourself to be only, hey, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. Like, I'm from the streets for real, man. It was a point in time where, I felt it, man. I'll never be nothing else. Like growing up, you watching Menace to Society. You know what I'm saying? We idolize these movies and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And we really believe this shit. I believed that shit. Like, damn, man, I ain't never gonna be nothing else. Type of shit. From the music, from the movies. So they're showing me these images about myself. I believe these images about myself. And I'm creating this reality for myself with my magical mind. Not even knowing. Snapped out of that. You could snap out of it too. But yeah, definitely, man. Saying, definitely, man. You know what I'm saying, balls in your court. All these symbols, man. All these symbols, man, are your science. There's no reason to fear these symbols. There's no reason to look at them as evil and be spooked out. Oh, demonic, demons and demons. Yo, demon, look it up. DAEMON means genius. A demon is an advanced way of thinking. It's a way of thought. It's a download that came from the ethers, got decoded by your pineal. You understand it. And now you projecting, you're creating. You're taking that download and you're creating your reality because you can do that. Using your hippocampus and the other glands, everything is online and you creating your reality, baby. On some magical shit. On your real technological shit. Fuck a D-wave. Let me tell you something. We're gonna get into exactly who the Atlanteans, the Draconians, the Dogon. We're gonna get exactly into, but we're gonna touch on it lightly. See, the British family thinks that they're Draconians. They think that they're the progeny of the Atlanteans. They call themselves the Draconians, the Archons, the fallen ones from Draco. Yeah. Now, Bobby Hemmett told me that, well, not personally. Not personally, y'all. Don't even. Okay. Bobby Hemmett told me that when you look at Set Typhonian magic out of Kemet, which came from Nubia, Set Typhonian magic is Draconian magic. Set Typhon is Draco, the Dracons, which are out of Nubia. Yeah. That's why you see Haile Selassie wearing that 8-pointed star, the same 8-pointed star that Queen Elizabeth wears. Yeah. Queen Elizabeth and them, they may be progeny of the Atlanteans, and they were put here to do a job. Put here to do a job. And they're doing it damn well. That's why they're rewarded. They're put here. They're of a different polarity. They're doing what they're supposed to do. All this fucked up shit. And they're being rewarded for it. But that's not for you to follow. But a lot of us don't know that. So we're going through this world with their mind. But it's about to be over. You know what I'm saying? We burning the veil. We burning the veil. We gonna get more. We gonna touch some more on that, man. But definitely, man. Symbols, occult symbols, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. Brother Bridge, Abode of Sun Moon. We out.